Hey, you guys, what's up? It's Davida, and we are back with Singer Tips and Tricks, episode 4. Today, we're talking about how to find your sound. Have you ever listened to your favorite singer and thought, wow, I wish I sounded like them? Of course, right? We all have. But maybe you've spent hours trying to copy someone's vocal style, tone, runs, or delivery altogether. Most singers do it at some point. While learning from other artists can be helpful, there comes a point where every singer has to answer that question: what do I even sound like? Today, we're talking about finding your voice and the authentic sound that you own, and why discovering it is one of the most powerful steps in your growth journey as a singer. So, let's get into it. All right. So, what does finding your voice actually mean? When people say find your voice, they're usually not talking about finding a whole new voice. You already have one. The challenge would be trusting that voice, discovering the unique qualities that make your singing recognizable and authentic. It's a combination of your tone, your phrasing, your emotional delivery, your personality, your life experiences, and no one else has your exact combination of those things. That's what makes your voice valuable. The trap of comparison: one mistake many singers make is believing that sounding like someone else is the goal. But here's the thing: the artist you admire, they became successful because they sounded like themselves, not because they sounded like someone else. So here's a personal example, okay? I personally am obsessed with mocking artists and getting their tone, their skills, their agility, their phrasing down to a T. It's because I did realize that it helps when you're trying to sing their songs, right? Of course it does. However, that does not mean that that's helping me sing like me. So there came a time where I realized, after maybe I was like 12, 13, I was like, I don't think I even know what my real voice sounds like. Like if I sing my originals, am I going to sound like someone else? Which happened at times. And so I started working harder and harder every time I wrote a song to make sure that it brought out the qualities that I care about when I sing. And that alone helped me understand that, hey, I do have my own voice. So while I learned a lot from studying all these other artists, I eventually realized that my growth started when I stopped asking, how can I sing like them? And started asking, how can I sound like me? Why your unique sound matters. Well, as we stated, it makes you memorable. Think about your favorite singers. You can usually recognize them within seconds, right? Not because they're perfect, but because they're distinct. People connect to authenticity. It creates artistic confidence. When you're constantly trying to imitate someone else, you're technically chasing, and you're always going to be chasing something. But when you embrace your own sound with more confidence, more freedom, you're no longer trying to fit into someone else's identity. You're expressing your own. Hooray! It helps you connect emotionally. The strongest performances aren't always the most technically impressive, they're often the most genuine. Insert shoddy clip here. People remember how you made them feel, and authenticity helps create that connection. I personally can relate to this. There have been plenty of times where I felt like my performance wasn't perfect, and then an individual will come up to me after my performance and let me know, like, I did something special for them. And at the end of the day, I realized, oh, I think that's all that matters. How to start finding your voice. All right, step one: listen to yourself more. I know this is uncomfortable for most people. A lot of singers don't really enjoy hearing recordings of themselves, believe it or not. But recordings are one of the best tools for self discovery. Record yourself singing different genres, different emotional styles, and then listen back. You must listen back, okay? Pay attention to what feels natural, not what sounds like someone else. What sounds like you? Identify your strengths. Ask yourself, what compliments do people consistently give me? Okay, pay attention to those. People may say things like, your tone is so powerful, your voice is so strong, and your storytelling is so emotional, and your runs are smooth, or your lower register really stands out. And those observations often reveal your strengths and what you're probably overlooking. Step two, identify your strengths. Step three, experiment with different styles. This is really important. You need to try R&B, you need to try pop, you need to try gospel, you need to try jazz, you got to try soul, you got to try these acoustic arrangements. You may discover parts of your voice that only show up in certain styles. Exploration isn't about becoming someone else, it's about discovering more of yourself. And I cannot stress this one enough. Step four, stop over singing. Sometimes singers hide their natural sound by doing too much. Okay, too many runs, too much bravado, too much volume, too much imitation. Just try singing the song simply. Focus on the storytelling. You might be surprised by how beautiful your natural voice already is. Okay, practical exercises for you guys. There are 3 versions to this challenge. Here we go. Here's a challenge you can try this week. Pick one song, record yourself singing it in 3 different ways. Sing it exactly how you normally would, sing it with minimal embellishments and runs, and sing it as if you're telling a personal story. Then compare all 3 of these recordings. Ask yourself which version felt the most authentic, which version sounded the most natural, and you may learn something new about your voice. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done so far with hyping me up with this channel and this series. If there is one thing I want you to remember, it's that your voice doesn't need to sound like anyone else's to be valuable. The music industry already has a bunch of other artists with their sounds. What it doesn't have is you. Finding your voice is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something you discover through practice and experimentation and confidence and self awareness and embracing all of that. So give yourself permission to grow, give yourself permission to explore, and most importantly, give yourself permission to sound like yourself, because your uniqueness is not a weakness. It's actually your greatest strength. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you all. Comment below, what is one thing that makes your voice unique? Or tell me about a singer who inspired you while you were finding your sound. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more singer tips and tricks, share this video with another singer who is discovering their voice. And until next time, keep singing, keep learning, keep growing. Bye, my loves.
Have it up. I'll sing it for you so you don't mess it up. It's not hard, you only